right now, so we'll see as it goes. Okay, so it looks like we are live on YouTube. Let me make sure. It shows we're live. Okay. And I will promise I'll get started here. I'm not seeing it. There we go. Okay. Okay, let me click that off. Awesome. Okay, so we are live on YouTube and Facebook. So that is a new one. And so if you are watching this on YouTube, either on the recording or live, thank you. Welcome. I've been doing these calls now for going on 3 years in a private Facebook group called The Marketing Edge. You're more than welcome to join if you're an agent or a vendor around the real estate transaction. And it's on Facebook. It's basically, if you just look at the Marketing Edge, you can join it that way. And after 175 calls, I realized that as my audience starts to grow, I wanted to reach out to more than just the people that are in the group. So we took a break at the first of the year, and now we are back doing it at 11 o'clock Central Time on Mondays in the Facebook group and then on YouTube. So, and I got a question for you real quick, because now that the audience is expanding, this is kind of my podcast area. It's pretty busy in the background, right? It's got some really cool stuff. It's got the state championship trophy that I won, and some of the really cool things that are important to me. And I sat there, I was wondering, I was looking through a lot of different podcasts, and looking at it from a coaching perspective. And I'm like, should I get the little wood straps as the background? Like, it seems like a lot of podcasts has those little wood straps with the black behind it. I don't know. I kind of like this one, but you guys can let me know by going in the comment section. If you're on Facebook, make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe to the Kevin Harris 1 channel. I've had that channel for, it's probably been 3 years, and it's pretty much just been a place that I've housed a lot of my my videos that I use that are not pushed to the public. But I'm going to start using it now because I want to eat my own cooking. And this call specifically is about what I'm going to be talking about and how I'm eating my own cooking right now. What do I mean by that? Most agents, if you're an agent, and I would say most people in the service business, specifically around real estate, because that's my audience, is lenders and inspectors and title marketers and agents and broker owners. They are invisible online. And what do I mean by that? If someone was to Google you right now, would they hire you based off of this search? I want you to think about that for a second. If someone was to Google you right now, whether it's you or your brand, your personal name, or maybe even your team name, would they, by what they found, hire you? If the answer is no, then we've got some work to do, right? And so I want to go through a couple of things in the short time that we have that hopefully will get you to start building your reputation and your brand online. We hear about it all the time, right? I'm not the expert at brand building. I have a lot of coaches that I've listened to and that I have personally that help me build my brand and the consistency across the platforms and consistency online. And I'm also someone, though, because I have a history of coaching. I have a history of helping others, 30 years of coaching, whether it was in the corporate world. Most of you guys know, if you know my story, I was on the football field in Texas for over a decade, have a state championship trophy right there as a head football coach, and then got into real estate, and within a couple of years started coaching realtors. My passion is helping people get to the next level of whatever that means to them. My book, The Power of Thee, is specifically around how to change what you're doing, pivot, because most of us think that we're stuck in a rut, and once we're stuck, we can't get out. But when you have the mindset of change and you have the mindset of abundance, you know that no matter where you are, you can always change. You can always go further. You can always pivot and go towards what I call your hero story. The coaching company I run is called The Hero Edge, and it's uncover, discover, and realize the hero in your own story. And all that means, at the end of the day, is that we were all built unique. We were all built for a purpose. Some of us are still searching for those purposes. And I'll give you a little disclosure. Your purpose is not found in what you do. Okay. What you do may provide a vehicle for your purpose, but your purpose is really why you're on this planet. No one's ever been made like you. No one's ever going to be made like you. You are unique to this world, and you have a voice and you have a message that needs to get out. And I say that there's always hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that are wanting to hear your message, but they just don't know who you are. So it's our job as service providers, as agents, as realtors, as title marketers, as lenders, to get that message out so that the people that are attracted to that message will know who you are and will start to resonate with what you say. So how do we do that? Number one, most agents, okay, and I'm just going to use agents as the example, but this can go to any business owner, any service provider, anybody that provides a service, for sure. Most people, if online, you are virtually invisible. Now, you may have a YouTube channel, you may have an Instagram channel, you may even have a TikTok channel, but most of us consume information and we don't actually put information out there in the ether. 97%, or I'd say probably closer to 99% of the people on the planet don't actually put things out there to get attention. They resonate with what they see, and then maybe they respond to it, or maybe they put out their own video, but there's not really an intention behind building a brand. Gary Vee, and if you don't know who Gary Vee is, I would highly recommend that you look him up and consume all of the information that he discusses, because one of the big things that he talks about is over the next 3 years, with the invention of AI and the continuing progression of technology, we are going to see a huge market of individual branding, more so than we even have for the past 5 or 10 years. We're going to see it at such a high level that the people who don't engage with it are going to be so far left behind, they may never catch up. So one of the reasons I wanted to go more than just in the Facebook group and more than just doing the stuff that I do in my private coaching groups is I wanted to put the message out there that there is resources, there is help, there is free and paid investments into building your brand, your personal brand. But your brand is what people are looking to buy. They're not looking to buy, the service of what you do. Here's why I know this. I've coached now in inspector space for over 5 years, teaching them how to relate to their clients, which are agents. I've coached CEOs. I've coached lenders on how to build their brand. And the one thing I know is they're not the only one in the marketplace. Okay. If you're a realtor, if you're a lender, if you're in title, if you're in the real estate profession, you're not the only one that can do what you do. And, there's a saying out there. I actually heard it last night from one of my friends when I had dinner with him. If you're the best Mexican food restaurant, right? I live in Texas, so Mexican food is where it's at. If you're the best Mexican food restaurant, that doesn't necessarily mean you sell the most Mexican food. Okay. He used the example of burgers. Name put in the comment section, what's the burger that you think is the best burger out there? All right. What's the best burger that you've ever had? Here's the next question after you answer that. Do they sell more than anybody else? The answer probably is no, because the burger that sells more than anybody else is McDonald's. Now, I would say that most people who comment, or if you're thinking about the best burger, you're probably not thinking McDonald's. So why is that? If they're not the best, why do they sell the most? It's because they have nailed for many years the branding of what they do. Now, yeah, they spend millions of dollars branding themselves. No, but you also got to think about, why does Pepsi, why does McDonald's, why does Apple, why do those big companies still market and still put their name out there week after week, year after year, and spend hundreds of millions of dollars doing it when everybody knows who they are? Because at the end of the day, if we're not consistently putting the message out there, we get lost in the shuffle. So if you're a realtor, in the DFW area, which is where I'm located in Fort Worth, Texas. But in the DFW area, we have anywhere from 45 to 55,000 realtors at any given part of the year. And I always ask this question of my clients is, if we have 45,000 realtors, the question you have to answer is, why you? Like, what makes you unique in the marketplace? What makes you different? And it's probably not, matter of fact, I would almost 100% say it's not how you actually do the process of helping someone buy or sell a house. Because you may be a little bit better on the marketing, you may be a little bit better on the emails, you may be a little bit better on the follow-up, you may be a little bit better on the contract negotiations, and none of that matters if no one knows who you are, if that makes sense. We have got to get really good as service providers at understanding what our game truly is. Our game is not selling real estate or providing title or doing inspections or providing a loan. That's the service we provide, and we have to be good at that. There's no question. We have to be good at what we do. If you're not good at what you do, or you're brand new in the business and you don't have any inkling on how to do it, first do that, right? Get good at what you do. But at the same time, how do you start separating yourself and finding what I call your tribe? But how do you find the people that are going to be attracted to you because of not just what you do, but who you are? Okay. So I might make a couple of people, especially some of my friends, a little mad about what I'm about to say, but I don't care what brokerage you're with, and neither does your client. Now, every brokerage has their pluses and minuses. Okay. There may be a time where I own a brokerage. I don't know. And I'll have a value proposition for the agent. But if the broker is telling you that they can get you more business because of their name, I'd put a red flag next to that, because there are a very, very few exceptions in the United States. If you're in New York, if you're in LA, maybe brokerage name matters a little bit more, or if you're little niche pieces of the Metroplex. But by far, the majority of real estate that is being transacted, the brokerage had little, if any, to do with it. The brokerage should be there to support you, to bring value to your business, to provide an ROI, whether it's systems and compliance and training, whatever their value is. But that's not necessarily, matter of fact, it's probably never going to help you attract your tribe. Does that make sense? So if that's the case, figure out which brokerage you want to be at, right? Make sure it aligns with what you're trying to build as your business. Make sure that you feel like it's a good ROI, return on investment, and then put your head down, join the brokerage, and go to work. Because at the end of the day, your job is to build your brand. Your job is to build your hero story. Okay. The Power of the book that I wrote, is about being the acronym for when you say a Mexican food restaurant or the Mexican food restaurant. What's the difference in those two statements other than the word? For most people, the difference is that when you put the in front of something, you're putting importance. You're putting a hierarchy of this is the best one. So I always say you want to be the Janet Jones. You want to be the Kevin Harris. That's why I go by that. It's not a name that I necessarily relish, but it's true. God's never built anybody like me, and some people would thank God for that. But the reality is I learned through my own journey that I am unique. And the more I lean into my uniqueness, and the more I lean into, especially online, and especially through my marketing, the more, one, I repel the people I don't necessarily fit with. Like I don't connect with them. But more importantly, the more that I actually connect with people that connect with me. Or in the case of what I say, I connect with my tribe. I start to bring my tribe in. I can tell you story after story of open houses that I did over the years where I became very good friends with the people I met for the very first time at the open house. Now, that's not everybody. I mean, I've met thousands of people at open houses, but there's a few that we connected because we had similar interests, or sometimes it wasn't even similar interests. It was just, there was something that attracted them to me. They attracted me, attracted them to them, and we built a relationship outside of the real estate transaction. So that happens because you find your tribe, and you don't know where your tribe is. But if you're not putting the message out, you're never going to find the people that want to do business with you. It's always going to be a struggle for consistency of leads. So number one, your brokerage is not your brand. It's not your personal brand. So you need to learn to build your personal brand. Okay. Number two, Who do you know that you want to be like? More importantly, not like I want to be like this agent or this agent, but what resonates with you when you see a brand? Like some people love Harley Davidson, some people like Indian, some people like Yamaha, some people like Suzuki, some right. And there's nothing wrong with any of that. They all do the same thing. They all go down the road on two wheels and get you to a destination. But there is a brand awareness to certain people. And so first, when you identify, well, this is kind of who I think I would love to be like, well, then you start trying to figure out what that actually means to you. What is the characteristics that you admire in that person? And do you have those characteristics? Do you have those characteristics in your own business? If I was to look at your business, whether it's on Google or whether it's on Facebook or whether it's on your website or whether it's on Instagram or whether it's in your materials that you print, can I see those characteristics? Because if I can't, then you got some work to do on your marketing, because that is what your brand is. Your brand is, who do you want to be known for? Like, what is your value proposition? But I don't like using that word because honestly, when you say value proposition, that's a very salesy word, right? It's a corporate world, and we don't live in a corporate world when we're selling real estate. We actually live in a world where we want to build our own brand. We want to have our own hours. We want to control our own destiny, right? And that's not corporate. So I would encourage you that as you're going through this journey, to one, understand as an agent, or if you're a lender and you're part of some big corporation, although there's a need for that, that's not your brand. Your brand is your own personal brand. And then number two, who you start by saying who is the audience that I want to attract, and then what do I want to be known for? So you can write that down. What's the audience, and then who do I want to be known for? And like I said, part of the concept of the THE is that when you start thinking about it, what is your uniqueness? And if you haven't done that work before as a service provider, it's time. It's time. I promise you. If you don't start getting traction, whether it's through Instagram or YouTube, and I'll talk about YouTube in a second, the reason why I'm on it. If you don't start getting traction on it, within 2 to 3 years, it's going to feel like there's such a chasm between where you are and where everybody else is, or at least where the top producers are. So you want to make sure that you're jumping on this now. With the invention of AI, it's easier than ever. With the invention of the internet, advertising is easier than ever. It's virtually at no cost, okay, relative to if you bought a billboard or if you went on TV ads or you went on radio, which still costs thousands of dollars a month to do. You don't need that to build a brand in the world that we live in. I mean, you look at the recording art industry now, right? People can become famous singing and playing instruments without ever having a record label because of the invention of social media, specifically YouTube for that matter. So this is the action I want you to take starting today. If you watch this, pick one platform. If you don't have a platform that you are currently on consistently, then pick one. Okay. I don't care which one it is. It can be Instagram, it can be LinkedIn, it can be YouTube, it can be Facebook, it can be TikTok even. Okay. I would encourage you though, if you are in the service space and you are trying to leverage your time relative to the content, YouTube might be the better one for you to look at. Couple reasons why. One, you can create a long form video, 15 to 17 minutes, okay, once a week. Take that video, cut it up into shorts, cut it up into reels, and place them across all your platforms. And you've had one idea. So 52 ideas in a year, and you're consistent. If you do Instagram, or if you do Facebook reels, or if you do TikTok, you're having to come up with content on a daily, if not twice a day, like new content. So because we're not social media influencers, that's not our job, is to be sort of social media influencers. Since we're not, it to me makes more sense to lean into YouTube, because you can get more Google juice from YouTube. And why can you get Google juice from YouTube? Because Google actually owns YouTube, and so YouTube is searchable. You know this if you've ever Google searched in the past year or two. You see all these YouTube videos up on top as part of the answers to your Google search, because they want you to go to Google. So you're getting SEO from Google, And if you start building it and you start deep diving, you can actually, eventually, if you get a big enough audience, you can get paid from YouTube, just like Instagram and everything else. So I would encourage you to think about one of those. I'm preferable. My preference is YouTube. But if you go across the channels, you'll see my other stuff on Instagram and Facebook too. A lot of it is repurposed from YouTube. And then as you start to grow, you can start expanding and getting good at those other channels. Or you can frankly hire someone to do it while you go out and get more deals. That's ultimately what you want to do, is go get more deals anyway. That's what we want to do in our business world, is not necessarily become an influencer, but get more deals. And if we have enough attention on YouTube or Instagram or social media, deals will start coming to us. You'll start getting leads from that. Okay. Number 3, create a story, your story this week, not next week, not a month from now, not plan for it on the 1st of May. Create your story this week and post it. What is your story? Not a listing, not a coming soon, not a buyer rep. Okay. All that kind of stuff is part of what we do, and you should be videoing that. But what is your story? Why did you get into real estate? What's the background? What made you want to do it? What maybe if you have experience in something that connects with real estate, what is that? Create a story and then either put it in a 60-second, or if you go on YouTube like this, you can go live or create a longer video and create that story. And that way you're actually starting to build your brand. Because once you put it out there in the ether, and once you start putting it out there on Facebook and you start putting it out on video, you're going to see that people are going to start responding. Now, you're not going to get, well, you might. I don't get 1,000 people watching my stuff, right? It looks like I got maybe 3 on YouTube right now, which is actually pretty good, because I only had 4 followers when I started last week announcing I was going to do this on YouTube. And it looks like I got 4 or 5 on Facebook. That's okay. That's not what this is about. This is about creating the content and the consistency. We're doing a 30-day challenge inside the group right now, in both my paid and my free version, the Marketing Edge, where we just pick a habit and do it for 30 days. Okay. So like, just pick something, whether it's making calls, whether it's doing open houses, whether it's creating text threads and sending them out, or whether it's doing social media, whatever it is, just pick one thing and do it consistent for 30 days. You'd be surprised at what muscle you build by doing it. You'll be surprised at what that makes you feel like when you actually can start accomplishing it. We're on day 8. We're on day 8 right now, but don't let that stop you. If you want to be part of the challenge, get into the Marketing Edge. I'll put the link in the bio for the ones on YouTube. If you're watching it on Facebook, you already got it because you're watching it. We'll make sure that we get you in the group and get you in the challenge. You can start tomorrow. Okay. So pick your story, decide your story. You can always make it better. You can always make it more refined, but just tell your story online. Turn the camera on, talk for 5 or 10 minutes, or talk for 30 seconds or a minute, depending on what platform you want to, and post it. It doesn't even have to, I don't even care if it has a description or whatever. You'll get to that later, but just start your journey of creating your own hero story in what you do. Okay. And then lastly, this is kind of a bonus. If you truly want to start showing up to your audience and for your people, do exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm going live. Okay. I can't stop the recording and go, oops, I should have said something else. I'm going to stop and re-record it. This is live. It's live in the ether of YouTube, and it's live on our Facebook group. I say that is the easiest way for you to get over the fear of being on video, because once you turn the live on, you're live, right? So no matter what I do, it's being recorded for posterity. Now it's being recorded for the whole world to see. Before, it was just in the group. But so I would encourage you to, if you want the bonus, if you really want to get started, just click the button, go live, maybe even put a description in it, and then go. Okay. Tell your story, use some bullet points, use a script. I don't care. Do what you need to do, but get started. Okay. I want to help you on that journey. Next Monday, we're going to do this again. My goal is to do this every single Monday moving forward. I may have some special guests that come on, especially now that we're on YouTube. And we've got some really cool friends that I'd like to introduce you to that maybe would help you in different aspects of your business. If you want to be part of making sure that you don't miss these calls, make sure that you hit subscribe on YouTube and click the little, I think they say click the bell so that you get notified. On Facebook, obviously, you're part of the group. Make sure you like this. Make sure you comment on it, because the more you comment inside the group, the more notifications that you'll get pushed into your feed. If you ignore everybody, if you ignore all your neighbors eventually don't talk to you. That's how Facebook works. So you need to engage your neighbors and in Facebook world, engage in the comments, put stuff in the Facebook group. And then lastly, call to action. If you are truly wanting to build your business and build beyond just what you can do, I would tell you to consider joining the Edge Collective, which is our private Facebook group, our private group that we have. It's not a high lift as far as cost. It really is just more of a commitment from you guys, or from you to build your business. We have really great videos in there. We have a mastermind call that we do every Friday. That's not what this call is about, but I did want to throw that out there. I'll put the link in the subscription, or in the comment section of both YouTube and Facebook if you want to get on a call and find out if it's a good fit for you. But every Monday, you're going to get a free coaching call from me, both on Facebook Live and on YouTube. So I encourage you guys, whether you use me as your coach or whether you use somebody else, find a mentor, find a coach that's been there and that's done it, that's compressed time for you a little bit. And then you have to take action. If you know me, you know I'm a football coach at heart. It's where I cut my teeth on coaching. It's where I learned a lot of things that translate into the business world. And here's what I will tell you. My job as your coach is to help you with the playbooks, help you with the game plans, come up with the strategy, create the plays around your business, but you got to play the game. You got to get out on the field. It's your game to play. I can't play it for you. I can't go get your leads for you. You got to go find them yourself. You got to make the calls. You got to create the ads. You got to do the open houses, whatever it is that you're doing to create business to come to you so that you can find your tribe and build a life like no other. The real estate game is a great game, whether you're an investor, whether you're an agent, whether you're in the services part of our business. It's a great game to be in. It's going to be around forever. And we help people with the biggest financial decision of their life. So let's get good at it. Okay. And let's go find those people. All right. You guys be blessed. If you need me, you know where to find me now. This is the main channels I'm going to be on. I'd love to hear from you. And I want to see you. I will start putting content in the YouTube. We're going to start dropping content more than just the lives starting this week. And if you need anything, you can reach out to me. All my contact information is available. All right. You guys be blessed. Thanks so much for jumping on. I appreciate it. I know it's in the middle of the day for some of you guys, but I want to make sure that you are the hero in your own story. All right, guys. Thanks.